Well, here we are. History about to commence at Hill Dickinson Stadium, the first women's game to be played in Britain's newest football stadium. And it's Ella Toone who gets things underway here on the banks of the River Mersey. And Lindsay Johnson, Manchester United, will be the favourites for this one. Do you think Mark Skinner will want to get a fast start here, or are you expecting his side to just take their time?
I think a fast start. I think if you watch Manchester United play, they always like to get out the traps nice and quick and take the game to the opposition. So Everton will have to do the exact same, you know, keep their formation, keep good organisation and try and keep their ranks and their organisation nice and tight.
As Dominic Janssen, you'd expect to see her with the ball at her feet for quite a lot of the game this afternoon. Same with her defensive partner, the Manchester United captain, Maya Le Tissier. As early on, Manchester United sit into their rhythm of possession football. They've had such an excellent start to their season, have Manchester United. The only defeat so far coming in a game they probably should have won against Brann in the Champions League qualifiers a few weeks ago. It's a lovely flick around the corner. Mallard, plenty of space to operate in. She might go all the way here. Mallard squares it. It'll come across, and it's over the top. What an opportunity early on for Lisa Nalsson into the squad today, and maybe showing just a few signs of rustiness there.
Yeah, and I think decision-making as well. She found herself in acres of space. Lovely ball around the corner from Turland. But she has all that space. Kitagawa's nowhere to be found. And she pulls it back where I think she might have gone for goal. Obviously drops for Nalsson in the end, but you can see she's got it all wrong. She's leaning back. It was going over the bar all day long for me. So, yeah, I think Nalsson probably wasn't expecting it, but Mallard, for me, wrong decision to cut that ball back.
Just took it a little too far, didn't she? Took the made the angle harder for herself. As Vignola commits a foul. First one of the afternoon.
It's too easy for Manchester United on that right-hand side. Mallard had acres of space, didn't she? And I'm not sure where Kitagawa was. High, not in a position.
Well, we weren't sure when we saw the team news whether Mallard would start on the left or the right, and she's starting on the right. If she was maybe coming in on the left-hand side, she might have favoured the shot rather than the cross. As the away end get their lungs into action for the first time this afternoon. Jay Riviere caught in possession, fortunate to win the free kick on this occasion. Yuka Mamiki just going in too aggressively for the officials' liking. Saw Jade Riviere score an absolute thunderbolt away to London City Lionesses a few weeks ago. She maintains it was a shot from an impossible angle. Here's Mamiki. Hooks the ball forward. Wonderful turn by Vignola. Surrounded by Manchester United players, though, and combination of Nalsson and Le Tissier win it back for the visitors. Here's Le Tissier. Scored that goal against Vålerenga in the Champions League in midweek. Seems rather apt that it was the Manchester United captain to score that historic goal. Here's Riviere. Kitagawa tracking her. Here is the Manchester United fullback. Mallard. Trying to find some space. Plays the ball forward, hopefully, rather than in the direction of a specific Manchester United player. But at the moment, in the first 4 minutes, it's all about Manchester United keeping the ball.
Yeah, really good piece of sustained possession from United.
They've got a chance here as the ball's clipped to the back post, and somehow it flashes across the face of goal. Elizabeth Turland is the player who got her head on it, but it was just a little too high for her. And I think she collided with Emily Ramsey, which is why she's down on the turf. But Manchester United with all the ball at the moment and creating opportunities. It's
a fantastic ball in from Narsland. Just a through ball on the back shoulder of Fernandez. It's Rolfer, isn't it? Comes in on that left-hand side. And like you say, it was just a little bit too close for Turland near the goal. She couldn't get over the ball and direct it into the back of the net. But really good piece of play by United, and they've got lots of possession, but they're passing with penetration as well, making it really difficult for Everton to get set in any sort of organisation.
Everton really have been struggling of late. They were probably the better side in that draw against Leicester City last weekend, but able to hang on to the lead that they picked up in that match. Hansen with the header at the back. Chance maybe for Everton to venture forward for the first time in this game. Katie Robinson. Alatoon comes across. Robinson denied any kind of space, though, in front of that travelling corner of Hill Dickinson Stadium. Wheeler sees movement in behind. Robinson is that player. She can't get there, though, unfortunately. Just a yard too much pace on that pass for Katie Robinson, but spacing behind for Everton for the first time.
Yeah, it was an excellent run by Katie Robinson. You can see her just run across the line. It's just out of the picture here, but she makes a really good run and just peels inside and comes inside behind Sandberg. But like you say, just run out of pitch, but a good piece of play by Everton.
Something for the home support to hang their hat on. That's wonderful hold-up play by Turlin. Mallard's touch is too heavy, though. Manchester United number 9 will be disappointed with that, because it was initially good link-up play just inside the Everton half. Oh, and that's risky play out from the back. Confidently done by home guard. Maybe her confidence was misplaced on that occasion. Here's Riviere, closed down by Mamiki. Everton hunting down the ball, though, in the Manchester United half.
In that midfield area, they're really putting a high press on United, not giving him time on the ball. I think they understand today they're going to have long periods without possession of the ball, so it's having that shape and organisation.
Sandberg is caught in possession. Robinson almost taking it off her toe. Here's Riviere. Nalson sees movement in behind. It's Turland. She's got time. She finds a teammate, and it's flashed wide of the post by only a yard or so. A great opportunity. They are building them now, Manchester United. Rolfo the latest with the opportunity for Manchester United.
Yeah, excellent phase of play. Here you can see Nalson again, just that touch, and Turland runs across Stenovic, and as a defender it's so hard when an attacker runs across you, but Rolfo there just on the end of it just curls the wrong side of the post for Manchester United. I think some of the fans thought that it nestled in the back of the net. Wasn't far.
Fernandez coming across, doing just enough maybe to put off Rolfo. Manchester United with 3 opportunities in the first 8 minutes of this game at Hill Dickinson Stadium.
And it was Rolfo as well, coming off that left-hand side into the central area. It makes it hard then for defenders to pick you up when you're overloaded in those central areas.
Manchester United with runners everywhere. Everton chasing shadows at the moment. Miyazawa out to Riviere. Brilliant movement again from Nalson, stepping up into a higher position from a rather deeper midfield position.
Yeah, she'll be really happy to get a start, Narslan. She is another player who's been hampered with injury since she's started at United, but a really dynamic midfielder, lots of energy, likes to make those late runs into the box as well, so you need to constantly be looking on your back shoulder as a midfielder.
Here she is now. Nalson rides the challenge, tunes in there, it's Nalson! Doesn't connect with it cleanly, and it simply rolls into the hands of Emily Ramsey. But an attempt on target, albeit a rather weak one from the Manchester United midfielder.
Lots of pressure is from United. You see again, Turland and Narslan have been massively involved in the first, 9 minutes of this game for United. Everton are getting numbers behind the ball though, but they need to get some possession of the ball and take the sting out of this game from Manchester United.
And that's how you do it, take the ball off LV Mallard's toe. Chance to chase in behind here for Hikaru Kitagawa, but Manchester United stamping out that half opportunity as soon as they possibly could. 9 minutes on the clock, Everton 0, Manchester United 0. If you're just joining us, the visitors had a handful of opportunities already, but Everton have hung on in there, probably the best way to describe it. Here's Janssen. Sandberg on the left-hand side. Janssen to Letitia. Every outfield player currently in Everton's half for the first time in this game. Toon in behind for Sandberg. Excellent movement by the Manchester United fullback. Stepping in though as home guard, and he'll go behind for the first corner of the game.
It is really good play from Manchester United, but Everton need to be better at having players running on the back shoulder. It's happened 3 or 4 times now, and it's too easy for Manchester United. Everton need to wake up.
And what will wake them up extra is by looking at those stats. 83.8 possession for Manchester United. They have been dominant so far in this game. 10 minutes play, goalless at Hill Dickinson Stadium. Lisa Nalsson will take the corner for Manchester United. Ramsey gets a good right hand onto it. Hooked back into the danger area. Mallard deflection, and Ramsey reacts excellently to keep that out. Well, it was something out of nothing, and Emily Ramsey against her old side shows her cat-like reactions in the Everton goal.
Fantastic save by Ramsey. Had to make it. You know, we talked about that flair and finesse from Mallard, and we see just a volley from Turlin, but then Mallard tries that overhead kick. And just with that right hand, isn't it? It's a cat-like reactions, like you say, Rich, and Ramsey straight on it. Really good goalkeeping.
It was actually a touch off a defender from that overhead volley as well, which slightly changed the direction of the overhead volley. But this would be a concern for Everton. Emily Ramsey down on the turf. Katie Startup is the third choice goalkeeper on the bench, with Courtney Brosnan out injured, of course, for a long period for Everton. Brian Sorensen will be hoping that she can get back to her feet sooner rather than later. But probably a good moment, really, for the Everton manager to get his team in.
I think so. I think, you know, a little break in play is definitely what they need, just to disrupt the momentum that United have got at the moment and get some information onto his players. Brian Sorensen will be doing that right now.
Well, she looks to be okay, does Emily Ramsey, making her third WSL start of the season. Spent 5 years on the books. Manchester United did the Salford-born goalkeeper. And we have a look at the Everton bench. Courtney Brosnan is one of those injured players sat watching from the stands this afternoon. She's out for the foreseeable future. I could really do without losing Emily Ramsey.
Yeah, important players, and it's good. You know, Emily Ramsey, she's not played much because of her injuries, but to get 3 starts, that momentum will help her going forward.
Here come Manchester United looking to continue that momentum that they had before that stoppage in play. Everton going direct. Is Vignola, Letitia and Riviere combining to win possession back for Manchester United. Nalsson's there as well. Sandberg has it back at her feet.
And just to go back to that bench, there was 4 players in vision there. We had Brosnan, I think Katja Snoyce was on there, Meg Finnegan and Aurora Garley are all experienced players who are a big miss to this Everton side as well. So I think Brian Sorensen will be counting today to have them back with the squad.
Well, Melvie Mallard asks for the free kick. She says, they stood on my foot. And they did, because her shoes came off on the pitch as Everton come forward now. Sandberg faces up Robinson. The England winger trying to find an inch of space. And the foul is given against Sandberg. Well, judging by her reaction, she disagrees with the referee's decision there, the Manchester United fullback.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what Anna Sandberg did wrong there. I think she was a bit unlucky there to have that free kick given against her. I think she was just holding her ground.
Well, we'll get another look at it. Robinson kind of drove into a cul-de-sac, tried to do a 3-point turn and get out, but well, she was holding onto the shirt of Sandberg, you could say, really, Katie Robinson, but the Manchester United defender concedes the free kick. And Everton, I think, will be delighted to have this free kick because they've had very little going forward so far this afternoon. I feel like these opportunities could define the direction of this result for Everton, because so far everything has gone the way of Manchester United. Everton free kick. Danger for Manchester United. Plenty of whip on it. It's a good punch by Tullis-Joyce, but Everton get the rebound. And despite starting on the back foot, they take the lead at Hill Dickinson Stadium. It's the first goal in the women's game at the new stadium. Hanoka Hayashi is there to blast in the rebound, and Everton, with quarter of an hour on the clock, take a historic lead against Manchester United. Everton 1, Manchester United 0.
I think you nailed it. It's a great set piece in from Mamuki on that right-hand side, and it was just who wanted it most, isn't it? And Kitagawa reacted the quickest. Really good delivery. Tullis-Joyce gets a hand to it, but Kitagawa just drops kindly for it, doesn't it? Just gets there first with power into the back of the net. Really good delivery from Mamoki, though. Makes it hard for Tullis-Joyce really to gather it. And you can see here the United players are all looking at each other in that zonal position, but no one's picked up the runner of Kitagawa, who was able to react first.
Well, you could see Hinata Miyazawa, who was stood on the penalty spot for Manchester United, didn't go and attack the ball. The Everton player did. And it's Everton who get their reward. And they lead here at Hill Dickinson Stadium. And for the sake of the history books, Everton will be pleased.
Be very pleased, yeah. And I think you mentioned it. These situations, the ones that, you know, say how this game's going to go, but they did the same, Everton, against Liverpool for the first half. In that first game, they were very much under the cosh for most of that first half, and then got a goal against the run of play and went on to win that game. So, you know, it's early doors here in this first half, but, you know, great response from Everton.
They've taken the opportunity presented to them, which Manchester United haven't done. Hanoka Hayashi with the first goal by any woman at Hill Dickinson Stadium. Well, Mark Skinner was unhappy with something in the build-up to that goal. Having a word with the fourth official in the technical area. Not sure whether there was pressure on goalkeeper Fallon Tullis-Joyce or not.
Yeah, or like we highlighted, possibility of it not being a free kick in the first place. It was a weak free kick. I think Everton were lucky to get that, but they capitalised on it.
Absolutely did. Home guard steps in and takes control before relinquishing it to Malar. Stays on her feet. Malzund. Toon. Hayashi comes across. And coming back to help out is Mamiki, who picks it up in a central position but loses out. Malar. Deep cross this time by the French forward, easily dealt with though by the Everton defence. Miyazawa to Malar. Riviere. Malar continues her run. Surrounded by two in blue. Nalsund. Early cross. Dealt with again though. Hayashi clears. Toon with a touch and asking for the handball, and I look towards the referee to say, how did you not see that?
Yeah, but lots of frustration from the United players, particularly Ella Toon there. Adamant that was a handball.
It might have hit hand, but it was what, a yard away, something like that. They don't often get given those, but you see a ball strike a hand, you're going to shout for it, aren't you, regardless of how close you are. Ali Stenovic will win the free kick. And Everton will get a moment to breathe. Well, from Mark Skinner's point of view, will it be more of this? Well, will Everton be looking to do more of this going forward, is what I'm trying to say? Get pressure on the goalkeeper?
Well, be clinical in those. You won't get many opportunities against Manchester United, and then the first opportunity they've got, they've been clinical. But a really good delivery into the box, and then the pressure and the will to get there first. You know, she's in acres of space, Kitagawa. No one's near her. Riviere's got her hands gesticulating in the air, but you know, she's close to that player. There was no pressure on her. And she was the one who got there first.
It was Claire Wheeler who was leaning into Tullis-Joyce, but not enough to put off the goalkeeper or commit a foul.
Not in my opinion, no. And I'm a centre half, so I'm all for the goalkeepers getting a little bit of help, but not in that situation for me.
Here come Manchester United. 20 minutes on the clock. Everton 1, Manchester United 0. Malar. Kitagawa stands her up, but it's still Malar. Riviere. The pass was slightly behind her. Difficult to take into her step. Malar. Letitia. Deep cross. Should be Ramsey's. And is Ramsey's. That's what you like to see as a centre-back when your goalkeeper takes command like that.
Yeah, you've got to just know that your keeper's going to come and command that. Be nice and vocal. That's her ball.
There's Karen Homegaard. Everton going direct to Vignola, who's yet to have a sniff in the Manchester United penalty area. It's an arm in the back by Malar. Yuka Mamiki taking it full force between the shoulder blades. A wry smile on the face of Melvin Malar. I think she knows what she did.
Exactly. She's a bit overzealous as well, wasn't she? And didn't really need to make that there, but...
Clever footwork by Stenovic. Wheeler. Movement up front for Everton. It's from Vignola. Yeah, she was there as well, but comes to nothing. Turland almost able to release Ella Toon. Committed challenge by Karen Homegaard. That gets applause from the Everton supporters. Whether it be the men's or the women's team, the Everton fans, they love a strong tackle, don't they?
Yeah, and it was a strong tackle. She had to make it in. She knew she was out of position. She's playing in that centre-half position. I know she's played there for definitely the last game, but she's a full-back by trade, so she likes to go on Maisies and got to control that a little bit more in that centre-half position.
Space breaks down the left-hand side here for Kitagawa. Delays her decision, so Manchester United able to get back into a defensive shape, and Riviere is able to dangle a foot out and guide it towards Hinata Miyazawa, and Manchester United can clear their lines.
And since the goal, Everton are definitely playing higher up the pitch, aren't they? They were almost playing in that mid to low block for most of that just before the goal, really, first 15 minutes of this first half. So now they're definitely playing higher up the pitch. It's give them a bit of confidence to have that one-goal cushion.
Turland as well to hold on to that. Difficult ball to control. Here's Letitia. Miyazawa. On to Riviere. Midway through this first half. Everton lead, despite all of Manchester United's early opportunities, and they haven't really been able to rediscover the early form that they were showing in this game since that Everton goal. There's Nalsund. Janssen to Sandberg. Miyazawa. Manchester United just finding their feet again since conceding that goal. Riviere, it's a wicked cross in, but too far ahead of Fridolina Rolfo. Ramsey with the ball in her hands once again.
Well, we've seen that earlier on in the game, didn't we? Rolfo coming in off that left flank into the central position. She was definitely trying to do that there, but like you say, the ball just too far ahead. Too easy for Ramsey to pick it up.
Kitagawa and Mamiki linking up in the Everton half. Forward it goes. Committed header by Riviere. Rolfo, lovely turn. Miyazawa under pressure from Ruby Mace, who intercepts the pass of Janssen. Robinson puts her foot on it, tries to get beyond Anna Sandberg, but Anna Sandberg, you can't get past there in a foot race easily.
Yeah, she's another one who's had a great start to the season as well. Scored a beauty of a goal against Chelsea as well.
Some goal. Absolute screamer from the Sweden international. Here's Nalsund. Back to the Manchester United captain Letitia. Said her dream came true. Midweek did the Manchester United captain, scoring in the Champions League. The club you supported as a kid. Can't get much better than that. As the captain as well.
Yeah, and she really did step up, and I saw that penalty. It was a really convincing penalty for a centre-half. She just steps up so composed and relaxed. Sent the keeper the wrong way.
Here she is now. Good ball out to the Manchester United left-hand side. Everton backtracking here. It's Rolfo. And there was a loose foot dangled out towards the ball there. It was enough, though, to put off Rolfo. Letizia again. Everton supporters trying to raise the volume a little bit. As Manchester United are on the front foot once again in this game. Robinson back defending against Sandberg. It's going to be a continued battle throughout this afternoon, you imagine, down that Everton right-hand side. Letizia again, she's the one pulling the strings. The puppeteer out the back for Manchester United. Stenovic steps into midfield to pinch the ball off Turland. Malo working hard to win it back though for Manchester United. Riviere. Cross comes Wheeler, and it's actually gone for an Everton throw. Good determination shown by that Everton engine room.
Yeah, Claire Wheeler's so industrious in that midfield area. Likes to put the high press on, does all the hard work that nobody talks about. Leaves the finesse for the players like Hayashi, Momoki.
She's covering a lot of ground in the midfield is Claire Wheeler with Ruby Mace alongside her. And do you think part of Brian Sorensen's decision in not changing the team today is because they did play quite well against Leicester City, even though they didn't get 3 points?
I agree, and I think Brian Sorensen's been unable for whatever reason, whether it's out of choice or by, injuries to players, he's not been able to have the same starting 11. And I think that's important to try and get the momentum, that relationships of playing with the same players on the pitch.
And making it work so far. Here is Wheeler. Robinson. Yashi on her heels. Here's our quicker to it that time. Here's Toon. Tries to feed the ball out to the right-hand side. Riviere will get there. She's one of the quickest players in the WSL, so she was always going to catch that. 27 minutes played. Everton 1, Manchester United 0. Honoka Hayashi with the only goal of the game so far. Nalsund. Everton dropping deeper and deeper. Sandberg. Out wide and a chance for a cross to come in. It does come in. Nalsund. Ornella Vignola coming so deep for Everton. She's meant to be up top. Nalsund. Rolfo, I should say. Cross comes Hayashi though to win it back, and Everton can bring the ball forward. Kitagawa. Very few options ahead of her.
Really good play defensively from Everton, able to bank up in their units, get into good positions to able to win that ball back and then keep possession. Like you say, not much going forward, but able to move the ball around their back four, just keeping possession for a short while, taking that momentum away from United.
And then relinquishing it rather cheaply on that occasion. And the finest of passes out from the Everton defence. Well, statistically, perfect from Everton, I suppose you'd say. One shot, one goal. That is efficiency from Brian Sorensen's side.
He'll be happy with that, but I think what he'll want is, Vignola needs to, she's not really been involved in the game so far, even just to hold the ball up, take the pressure off the back line for a little while.
Here's Toon. Wheeler close to her. Here's Rolfo. Now Miyazawa, reluctant to go backwards, but has no choice with Hayashi on her tail. Malal, space here for the French forward. It might open up in the middle here. Nalsund with a strike. Half a chance again for Manchester United. The space opened up for her and presented with the opportunity. You can't blame her for taking it on, but the execution lacking this time.
Yeah, good transitional play from United. Nice quick movement in that central area. And she had to take the shot on there. She was in acres of space, but the execution just wasn't quite there. She went for power, didn't she, because of the distance, but just wasn't anywhere near Ramsey in goal.
Brian Sorensen into his 4th season as Everton manager, yet to beat Manchester United in his time in charge of the Blues. Everton actually have a terrible record against Manchester United, not won in their last 14. Here's Nalsund, pokes it through, partially away. Riviere. Mallard. Riviere with the deep cross this time. Hornets missed at the back by home guard. Everton had numbers back there though. Hayashi. Sandberg stands on the ball but keeps it. Toon. And Rolfo. Everton with that bank of 4 and bank of 5. Difficult to break down for Manchester United. And that's slow at the back from Fernandez. Toon. Mallard. Can't give her any space. Sandberg. Katie Robinson stands her up. Sandberg finds some space, finds the cross. Oof, and it's almost tapped in for an own goal. Karen Homegaard just swinging her right boot at it, spins off it and goes behind for a corner. That could have gone anywhere.
Look, she was very lucky, Homegaard. It's really good work from Sandberg on that left-hand side. It's a wicked cross into the 6-yard area. Homegaard's in the right area, but that could have gone anywhere. She was really lucky that. Takes it over the bar. I think it was deflected, wasn't it? Off the Everton player there, which made it more difficult for Homegaard.
Yeah, difficult to judge. Ramsey committed to coming out, didn't get anything on it. That might have put off the Everton number 28. Gonna have to find their composure again here. Looks like Manchester United players are towering over all the Everton ones for this corner.
We've got some real height in that area. Manchester United, Rolfo, Janssen, Mallard.
In comes the Manchester United corner. Mallard, the target. Recycle back into the 6-yard box and out for a goal kick. Everton breathe a sigh of relief, but Manchester United not really hitting the heights they were hitting in the first 10 minutes of this game.
Yeah, Everton are able to get a lot of bodies behind the ball in that phase from United there. They had 9 players in the area defending Everton, which makes it really difficult for obviously Manchester United to play through or to find a player. And I think that's what we're used to Everton doing last season. They were really tough and resilient in those defensive areas. I think they're going to try and do that today again with that 1-goal cushion.
Well, Manchester United have a great goal-scoring record against Everton. They won 4-1 in March last year, you might well remember. We'll come back to that in a moment because there's a chance here. Janssen puts her foot in just in time. Mamiki was away for a moment. United come forward on the counter-charge though. Mallard away from Mace. Chance for United here, and it's just wide of the post. Turland with the strike. It looked like it was just going to trickle into that far corner, but it was just a foot or two wide of the post in the end.
Really good transition again from United. Mallard finds herself an acre of space, plays that ball to Turland. There's a run on the back shoulder again. Takes her shot first time, doesn't she? Tries to take Emily Ramsey off guard, but I think Emily Ramsey knows it's going to just miss that far post. Had that area covered, but really good break from United.
Space to operate in for Manchester United, and when they do have space, they look really dangerous. Everton generally done quite well to keep that space to a minimum in the 33 minutes played in this first half. But as I was saying, Manchester United, they do have a good record against Everton. Scored 21 goals in their last 6 games in all competitions against the Merseysiders.
And how many have they conceded? Do we know that?
Testing my statistical knowledge here. Yeah, they've only conceded once to Everton in their last 7 meetings before today. That was in the 4-1 win of March last year. So this will be some turn-up for Everton today. All records are there to be broken, as they say. Here's Janssen. Everton with only that one chance in this game so far, which was taken by Anoka Hayashi. And it's completely misjudged by both Riviere and Mamiki.
Again, just Everton happy to just drop into that low block and try and encourage United into making a mistake and put the ball out of play, which is what they did then.
You've got to remember as well, Manchester United with that European game in the week might have higher levels of fatigue than this Everton side. Miyazawa, Toon, Mallard falls over in the penalty area. No claim of a penalty. No movement down the left-hand side for Everton, but Anoka Hayashi with the only strike of the game so far. And this is the goal that currently separates these two sides. There is a touch on Fallon Tullis-Joyce, but as you said, Lindsay, not enough for a foul.
No, not for me, and I think just Hayashi there, just the first to react. Just has to get enough power on it, doesn't she, to make sure it goes into the back of the net. She does that really well.
Guides it beyond Tullis-Joyce, who was ushered aside, shall we say, by the Everton player. 10 minutes to go until the break. Riviere goes direct this time. Rolfo the target. She's a big target. She wins the header. Everton onto the loose ball though with Hayashi. Now Wheeler. Mace goes backwards rather than forwards. Home guard, and now Stenovic. Oh, very confidently done by the Everton defender, and the referee's given a foul rather than play advantage on this occasion, much to the annoyance of the Everton defender.
Of course, I mean, they were in acres of space, wasn't it? It was great play by Stenovic there.
A few confused faces on the Everton bench as to why there was a whistle blown there. Stacey Fullock's the referee today, incidentally. Back underway, despite that momentary stoppage. It's a loose pass, Miyazawa, Toon. Everton, as soon as they give the ball away, though, they drop back immediately and frustrate Manchester United by filling those gaps that they want to fill.
Yeah, and what they've done, and they do this so well, is the distance between the units are really tight as well, so that makes it even harder for United to play through those areas.
Here's Mamiki. To be fair to Manchester United as well, when they lose possession, drop back into a more defensive shape. I wouldn't call it a defensive shape, but forwards come back into the midfield to make the area tight for Everton. Karu Kitagawa to take this throw in for Everton. Japanese fullback takes the throw in. Here's Riviere. Hooks it hopefully forward. Mace with the header, and up for a Manchester United throw in from near enough the same position which Everton had that previous throw in from. A lot of hope around Ruby Mace this season for Everton. A record signing. She's certainly full of industry in the heart of that Everton midfield. The pass goes behind Fernandez this time, but Katie Robinson's there to receive.
She's got bags of potential, Ruby Mace. She's a footballer. She can play, you know, likes to play the ball out, but also can put a good tackle in, and like you say, does a lot of work off the ball. So she's looking for a good season. Another one player who's had lots of injuries.
Former Manchester City player, she'd love to win this one. Kitagawa tries the early cross, didn't fancy taking on Letitia, but she will accept a corner despite the efforts of the Manchester United captain. And Everton, with their previous set piece, took the lead.
Yeah, just see here, Momoki just plays a lovely left-footed ball out to this left-hand side. Letitia just coming across, and then she's quick, Letitia, but still can't get a foot on that to stop her from going out for a corner.
And Kitagawa looked up and didn't really see too many blue shirts in the attack, so possibly would have preferred the corner. 6 minutes to go until the break. Everton corner, all the Everton players are lurking at the back post for now. That's where the corner is launched towards. First header is won by a blue shirt. Tayashi on the volley, completely miscues it. Momoki back into the mix, it goes. Fernandez will leave it. Home guard, but the flag is raised against Martina Fernandez in the Everton penalty area. Free kick for Manchester United, but they don't look too easy at the back with those balls coming into the penalty area, Manchester United.
Some really good deliveries from set pieces for Everton, and like you say, they look a little bit vulnerable, Manchester United, when they're defending, and Miyazawa had to time that tackle really well against Hayashi, you know, in the area. Get that wrong, and giving away a penalty.
Here's Mace, wonderful footwork to get away from Ella Toon. Robinson, back to Hayashi. Robinson gets the return as well. Finds a cross towards the back post, and there was a touch off Sandberg, was there? No, it'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, good give and go on that right-hand side. Katie Robinson, another player who will probably really want to, you know, take her opportunities. Mace just plays it out to there, and just this give and go. Again with Hayashi, who's everywhere in the pitch at the moment, isn't she? Can't get that delivery into the box. Katie Robinson.
The Villa Loney, full of energy down the right-hand side. There is an option to buy the England international for Everton if they were to be impressed by a season-long loan agreement, which she has here on Merseyside.
Yeah, she's a very direct winger, can play full-back as well, and I think it just hasn't happened for her yet at Everton.
Mallard cuts it back, the strike comes in. Oh, and Ramsey, it bounced up in front of her unkindly. Toon connecting with the strike, but again for Manchester United, not the best of strikes from a dangerous position, but Ramsey doing her job in the Everton goal.
Again on this right-hand side for Mallard, she's been the most dangerous player in Everton. We've seen her score some crackers from that distance, didn't she, but doesn't quite catch it, doesn't get hold of it as well as she might, but a little fumble by Ramsey, able to smother it in the end.
Heart-in-mouth moment for a few inside the Hill Dickinson Stadium. There's Nalsund. Riviere. There's a big space between the midfield and the Everton left-back area where someone in red should be, but there isn't. Riviere back to Fallon. Tullis Joyce. Letitia. Looking for Rolfo, who seems to be the target for those direct balls for Manchester United. Longard with the clearance at the near post again, though, for Everton. Miyazawa, so calm with the ball at her feet. Riviere, space for the Manchester United fullback. There's three in red in the middle. Ramsey will come for it, and Ramsey will take it once again. Well, she had a wobbly moment with that Ella Toon strike a few minutes ago, but that catch was full of confidence.
Yeah, she comes in and commands that well. Really good play, switch of play from Narzalan to this right-hand side for Riviere. And for me, she just doesn't wrap her foot around it as much as she'd want to, so it's close to Ramsey, and I think she's favourite to come and win that ball.
And Thailand was closest to it, but getting up higher than home guards Stenovic and Ramsey, it's always going to be a challenge for the Manchester United number 10. Saying that, she did score a quite brilliant header on the opening day win against Leicester City, did Elizabeth Thailand. Not very much room to operate in for Ornella Vignola.
But they'll be happy with this Everton one. They've got they're into Manchester United defending third, and just keep the ball here for a while, kill some seconds of the game, get to half-time 1-0 up. That'll be their objective from this point.
Robinson winning possession back high up the pitch. Now Ruby Mace goes backwards. Now home guard. Manchester United looking to find an equaliser before the break. That will change Mark Skinner's half-time team talk somewhat, you'd imagine. Yuka Momiki. Now Elise Stenovic looking for the run of Hikaru Kitagawa. Couldn't get the distance. Oh, hesitation at the back for Manchester United. Hayashi wins it back, and now Katie Robinson tries the early cross. It will ricochet off Sandberg, and behind for another Everton corner. They're starting to top these up at the end of this first half. Excellent
play from Hayashi in that central midfield area. Just putting that press on Miyazawa, is able to win that ball back and transition quickly. Just see there that high press, and Robinson tries to get an early cross in, but again deflected. But like you say, they've got the corner. Waste a few more seconds of this first half.
To be taken in front of the travelling Manchester United supporters, and once again Everton queuing up at the back post.
It's obviously something they've worked on at the training ground. It's always good when they come off in a game.
Stenovic and home guard, the obvious targets. Momiki sweeps it to the back post. Oh, and Fallon Tullis-Joyce didn't look comfortable with that. There was a touch, and it will be another corner, but Yuka Mamiki putting that corner right on the head of the Manchester United goalkeeper.
That was a wicked delivery, wasn't it? Really difficult. Fallon Tullis-Joyce is a tall goalkeeper, and she's scrambling back post, isn't she? I think she definitely gets a hand to it, doesn't she? Makes that save, important save.
Claire Wheeler on her toes again, though, making it uncomfortable for the Manchester United goalkeeper. And you've seen a lot of games as sometimes a defender placed between the goalkeeper and the player to prevent that from happening.
Yeah, and I think that's what the Manchester United are going to have to look to do, because it takes Tullis-Joyce's focus off the delivery. She's thinking about Claire Wheeler.
Well, again, there's no defender between Wheeler and Tullis-Joyce. Corner comes in towards that back post once again. It's a good glancing header in the middle, though, by Turland. Always good to have your centre forwards come back and act like a bonus centre back. Well, it looked like there was a touch there, not spotted by the officials.
It certainly looked like it come off Turland's head, and for the lineswoman and the referee to both miss it, maybe we missed something.
It's given away by Manchester United. Mamiki with a moment to think about the strike. A moment's too long, though, when you've got Miyazawa breathing down your neck. Here's Riviere. Mallard. Into injury time here at Hill Dickinson Stadium. Mallard again, though, too slow. Well, she doesn't get the decision this time, as Everton are awarded the throw-in on this near side.
It's really good defending, doubling up by Everton there in that central midfield, and it was Claire Wheeler again, just recovering from behind, and I do think it comes off Mallard's. I think the lineswoman definitely got that right.
Here's Vignola. Hook forward by Mamiki. Riviere in the way. Ruby Mace pulled to the ground, not spotted by the officials. Turland to Janssen. Sandberg to Hinata Miyazawa. Riviere to Nalsund. Everton's midfield still full of energy in the final few moments of this first half. Rolfo, wonderful touch by the Manchester United winger. The cross comes in as well towards the back post. Big shout from Kitagawa. And that is the final action of the first half here at Hill Dickinson Stadium. A historic afternoon, the first women's game here at Everton's new stadium, and a historic moment was for Honoka Hayashi, pouncing quicker than anybody else in the Manchester United penalty area to poke in a half-cleared Everton free kick. And the Japanese midfielder, with the only goal of the game so far, at the break, it is Everton 1, Manchester United 0.
They need to win this game. They're in the hunt for the title. They won't be shy about saying that, so they need at least a couple of goals.
It's Manchester United who pick up possession early on in this second half, and you'd expect Manchester United to see a lot more of the ball, or almost as much as they had in the first half. No changes, though, for Manchester United at the break. We talked about potential changes. Jess Park yet to come on, but it's a name we'd expect at some point.
I think you're right. I think Jess Park obviously won't be starting today just because of rotation, Champions League, playing lots of games. But I think, you know, she's going to come on. She could come on, and obviously quite dynamic in those midfield areas. They've also got Leah Galton coming back from injury. Very good winger on that left-hand side.
Good link-up play by Everton's midfield trio as Robinson chases that down the right channel. Sandberg able to get between ball and player, and takes the no-nonsense approach to defending on this occasion.
Good pressure from Katie Robinson. Sandberg always going to win that race. She had a yard or two ahead of Robinson, but that pressure gave her metres up into the United defence.
Robinson with the throw-in. Like a handball there by Sandberg. Robinson race up across towards the back post. There's plenty in blue, and it's a complete miss kick by Kitagawa. Arriving at the back post, it looked like she timed her run to perfection, but certainly didn't perfect the connection with the cross.
A really good run coming off that wide left flank. Like you say, her timing was perfect, but she just slightly put off the plays in front of her.
Might well have been, as Fernandez steps in, ricochets off Toon and into the Everton penalty area. But that was a good opportunity for Kitagawa, sneaking in behind, only making her third league appearance of the season for Everton in at full-back this afternoon. And Sandberg and Robinson tussling once again. Clumsy from Robinson. Looks to the heavens in disappointment at conceding that free kick, and she might have actually trodden on the foot of Sandberg in going for the ball there.
Yeah, I think you're right. Just a coming together, isn't it, between Robinson and Sandberg? But Sandberg, for such a small, diminutive player, she uses that body really well just to get in between the ball and Robinson. I think it is a foul, though. Robinson just clatters into the back of her.
One of those you're told to run off, I think, by her manager, Mark Skinner.
I'm old enough to remember the magic sponge.
Is there no magic sponges anymore?
No, not anymore.
3 minutes played in this second half. Everton with the lead at Hill Dickinson Stadium. It's the away support you can hear, though, here. There's this movement down on the Manchester United bench by the looks of things. They expected to come on at half-time, Jess Park, but it looks like she might be ready to come on any moment now. Interesting that Mark Skinner looks to make the move in the first few minutes of the second half rather than at half-time. There's Rolfo. Up against Fernandez. Sandberg arriving in support. Fernandez in the way, and it ricochets back off the Manchester United full-back and behind for a goal kick. A bit of fortune again, and those 50-50s do seem to be going the way of Everton in this game.
I agree. It was good defending. Some people might say lucky defending, but as a defender, it's good defending if you rubber the green goes your way.
Absolutely. Ian Wright in the crowd this afternoon. Good to see Ian on his Sunday afternoon taking in some WSL action. He's not always working, Ian Wright. He pops up everywhere, but he does pop up as a fan once in a while.
He's a big advocate of women's football, and it's great to see him at the game supporting the two teams.
That's Paulo from Robinson. Fancy taking on Sandberg on her own. Ruby Meso, wonderful footwork to guide the ball out to Robinson. Good determination shown by Everton's number 30 in midfield. Well, here is the change. 5 minutes into the second half. And Elizabeth Turland is the player going off. You don't really see substitutions made in the first 5 minutes of the second half. You'd expect that sort of change to be made at half-time, or maybe 10-15 minutes into the second half, would you say?
I agree, and particularly, you know, it's only 5 minutes at half-time, and so whether, you know, Mark Skinner has just seen that there needs a little bit more impetus up front, because we'll see Mallard go into that central 9 position now and Park go out wide right as well, so interesting.
Mallard Park in on the action straight away, beaten to it by Kitagawa. Yeah, Park out on the right-hand side, Rolfo on the left, and Mallard now taking up that central position, as you said, Lindsay. There's Janssen stepping in and winning it ahead of Mace. Nalsund plays it against Park. Don't think that pass was meant for her. I think it was meant for the marauding Riviere. Park has it, though. He's Letitia stepping forward. Janssen. Vignola will come across. The Everton forward, putting in her defensive duty. Rolfo. Fernandez slows her down. Toon considered the cross. Instead played it sensibly along to Miyazawa. Letitia, she will cross it. Fernandez, big header at the back. Miyazawa, heavy touch. Wheeler able to poke it away. Janssen with the header. Hayashi. Miyazawa picks up a loose touch, though.
It's an epitome of a low block this from Everton. You can see the numbers behind the ball, forcing United into either long shots or closing them down nice and quickly.
Real great determination shown by Everton, great discipline as well. Manchester United moving the ball quickly though. Alsand, Mala, look at that determined defending by Stenovic. Hayashi, Robinson through the legs of Sandberg, that's lovely from the England winger. Robinson just too slow to make a decision once she got beyond Sandberg.
And she's not a slow player, Katie Robinson. It just shows the speed that Sandberg's got. You know, she's so agile as well. And like I say, really disciplined so far from Everton. Just banking up into that low block, winning the ball, then looking to transition quickly. That time didn't quite pay off.
Here's Riviere down the right-hand side. Momiki across to slow down Manchester United. Park up against Kitagawa, Nalsand. Riviere. Excellent defending again by Kitagawa down that left-hand side for Everton. She's been one of the standouts for the home side so far. Mala will chase that. Here is the French forward. It's through the legs of Karen Homegaard. Riviere, Manchester United with possession high up in the Everton half. Janssen, Elatoon, Wheeler can't slow her down. Miyazawa, Sandberg. So many blue shirts back defending here for Everton. Manchester United trying to hammer away through. Janssen loops one in, Fernandez away. Miyazawa picks up the loose ball. Now Riviere loops across towards the penalty spot. There's Ruby Mace to glance it away, and Katie Robinson will collect that flick on and get away from Sandberg before having her shirt pulled. And that is the cleanest yellow card you'll possibly see all season.
It's becoming a really good battle between those two, and that time Robinson gets the better of Sandberg, doesn't she? Just here, just there, just uses the shoulder barge just to use that momentum to get past her. Sandberg just blatant shirt pull, I think, for everyone to see. So in this game today, she gets herself a yellow card.
She's not been able to be at her flying best down the left-hand side, has she, today? Because there's been no space to operate in, really. Yeah,
and I think, you know, the likes of, obviously, you got Robinson and Fernandez. Robinson can play in that full-back position, so they've just stifled her getting forward, because we know Mark Skinner likes his full-backs to get forward. Sandberg's very good at that.
Everton with possession in the Manchester United half on a rare occasion. Stenovic to Kitagawa, being told to go back by the Everton midfielder. And they come all the way across to Claire Wheeler. Incidentally, 18,000 supporters inside the stadium this afternoon. Huge numbers here at Hill Dickinson Stadium. Kitagawa down the left-hand side here for Everton. Riviere comes across. Look at the pace of her. Gets there and knocks it behind for a corner. Gets a whack in the process. And there's a player down in each colour in the Manchester United penalty area.
Yeah, the turn of pace. You see the march that Kitagawa's got on Riviere, and she just turns, accelerates, able to put the challenge in. And maybe is it knee on knee, which can be really painful.
You can see the limp on Kitagawa. It was a late connection after Riviere won the ball. Another day the referee might have given a free kick to Manchester United there, but corner for Everton is the decision.
Yeah, fantastic challenge for me from Riviere.
10 minutes into this second half. Everton 1, Manchester United 0. Everton corner, Ruby Mace to take. It's a lofted one to the back post once again. Mala gets a head on it, ahead of Fernandez. Kitagawa wins it back and will loop it into the penalty area, but wrong approach in that part of the pitch, really, from the Everton fullback.
Disappointing from Kitagawa. They've worked hard to get in that position, Everton, and then, you know, it's just a wasteful or hopeful pass into the 18-yard box.
Mala on her toes is Claire Wheeler. Everton's combination play of Wheeler and Mace defensively has been everywhere as they win it back again. Momiki Hayashi, Kitagawa to Wheeler. Back to Kitagawa. Manchester United trying to encourage Everton to come towards them, but Everton's defenders reluctant to pump it forward when they don't have to. Kitagawa. Leticia steps in, it's a heavy touch. Mace, very nicely done by the young midfielder. And finds the pass out to Robinson as well. Robinson up against Sandberg, tries to skip away from the Swedish fullback. Having their shirt pulled. Finds Fernandez, it's a wicked cross, headed away by Janssen. Kitagawa aims of handball against Jess Park by the Everton crowd more than anything else. The referee paying no attention to them as Manchester United win it back, but Ruby Mason midfield there, absolutely excellent.
Oh, great bit of skill in that midfield area, really good close control, just to take control of the ball.
Malar in a tussle with home guard. She hits the deck, the Manchester United supporters. And now the set of supporters asking for a free kick, which they don't get either. You can see the frustration in Mallard's body language though, can't you? It's not been her afternoon so far.
I think the referee has let a few things go, let's say, but then there's been some decisions what you weren't expecting as well. You can see why some players are getting frustrated.
Remember, Manchester United yet to lose in the WSL this season. Crunching tackle by Riviere on Yuka Mamiki, who bounces straight back up.
As the game goes on as well, you can see that space is starting to open up for Everton, and they're able to play through the ranks a little bit as United try and stretch the game a little bit, get further forward. Still plenty of time left in this game for United.
Will some of them be thinking back to that Brann game in the Champions League qualifiers, where they were by far and away the better side but still ended up losing?
Yeah, of course, and you've got to, you know, learn from those experiences, and I'm sure they have. And like I've just said, there's plenty of time left in this game, and the next goal is just going to be so important in this game as well.
Manchester United looking to make sure that it's them as Mallard receives the ball in the 6-yard box but can only glance it across the face of goal. It was a difficult one to execute, but she'll be disappointed with how that shot ended up going harmlessly wide of Ramsey's goal.
Yeah, I think she was obviously in two minds. Could she stretch enough to try and get a shot on goal, or can I just play it, just help it on its way, square the ball?
Fernandez goes direct over the top of Sandberg. Robinson's there, she hits the floor, looks to the referee for a foul. Sandberg's defence there will be it was shoulder to shoulder, ref. Robinson sprinting a good 50 yards and not getting a free kick. She'll be rather frustrated.
Yeah, it's a great battle between Sandberg and Robinson, isn't it? Particularly in this second half. They're both giving it loads.
Here's
really
Park.
good defending.
And now Toon. Rolfo. Oh, and it's a shot at goal. Ramsey didn't look set for it. Ended up going a good foot or so over the crossbar. But Fridolina Rolfo, she has looked dangerous down that left-hand side for Manchester United.
And we just see here Ella Toon just slipping Rolfo in. Like I said, she has a venomous shot, but just leaning back slightly.
Well, what do you think of this, Lindsay?
Yeah, just outside the box. It's a difficult one. You could say shoulder to shoulder, but I think probably used a little bit more physicality than the law would say you're allowed. So I think, obviously, I'm in the defenders union, but I would say it's a free kick.
Robinson not getting the referee's decision, but getting the commentary team's decision. Here's Jess Park. Ella Toon doesn't bring it under her spell. Fernandez can step in. Robinson gives it away. A slip by Vignola, that through the legs of Mace. Toon to Rolfo. Miyazawa across to Nalsund. Park. Riviere looks into the penalty area and lines up a cross, but can only find the supporters behind Emily Ramsey's goal. Well, it's just not clicking for Manchester United at the moment, but for Everton, they are certainly growing in confidence as this game ticks on by.
I agree, and I think because Everton are doing so well, getting numbers behind the ball, we just see this replay here. Ruby Mace's skill, just there, just rolls a foot over the ball, then hooks the ball back. Really tight, close control, makes it hard for Maya Le Tissier to get anywhere near her.
That's good from Miyazawa, who slips through. Mala! Saved by Ramsey. Mala on the rebound, though. And Manchester United do have their goal. And, of course, it's Melvin Mala. Their 5th goal in the WSL already. They needed a goal, and they've got a goal. Mala, not at the first time of asking, but at the second time, made sure. Everton won, Manchester United won.
Yeah, for me, Mallard's been their most influential player, looked the most dangerous, and we can see here, Miyazawa just winning that ball past Ruby Mace. Nice, just outside of the football and the corner. Ramsey makes a good first save, but it just rebounds straight back to Mallard, who has the presence of mind to react, get that ball into the back of the net.
Hands on head for the Everton midfield, and just as we were saying, how Everton looked like they're growing in confidence, Manchester United seemingly losing some. They are level with 62 minutes played. Well, Sandberg's down on the turf. Not sure if that was a coming together with an Everton player. She has been putting in some serious miles down that left-hand side for Manchester United, but there'll be a player they could really do without losing.
Yeah, I think she's had a fantastic season so far on that left-hand side, so hopefully she's okay and can play on. But they do have a left-back on the bench in Gabby George, who knows Everton really well and would slot straight in, seamless transition, but hopefully Sandberg is able enough to carry on.
Well, I think it seems to be the ankle, is it perhaps, for Sandberg?
Yeah, it's difficult to tell in that position whether the physio's working on the ankle, as she does seem to be pushing down. Didn't really see, you know, when that injury occurred.
Well, she's nodding. Not sure whether that's to feeling any kind of pain or she feels okay. Well, Sandberg is back up on her feet. That's the relief of Mark Skinner. He'll be relieved about that, and he'll also be relieved about the fact that his team are back in the game. Well, it was brilliant play, I have to say, from Hinata Miyazawa in the midfield as well there.
Yeah, when she's at the best, she dictates play, and she did that then. But it's Mallard's determination. She doesn't quite get her execution right. It's probably too straight for Ramsey, and Ramsey makes a good save. But she has the presence of mind, doesn't she, to react first and get on the end of that to score the equaliser. And we said that the next goal was going to be so important. And Manchester United have got it, and it's definitely game on.
She offers something a little different to Elizabeth Turland, doesn't she, Melvin Mala, when she plays down the middle. It just looks a little bit more clinical, if anything, as proven there.
Yeah, I think you've got that. You've also got the physicality, the height, the strength. A movement, she likes to come off, go out wide and then come back in. Turland's more of a central player, so yeah, I think she offers something different, and that's exactly what you want as a manager and a coach. You want your players to offer that versatility.
25 minutes to go in this game. One apiece at Hill Dickinson Stadium. Tullis Joyce receives it back. Janssen. Tisha won't appreciate that pass, but very calmly gives it to Nalsund in midfield. Everton pressing high, though. Now Le Tissier. A couple of changes for Everton in the offing, it would seem. Here's Wheeler. Heavy touch. Miyazawa comes across, and now the space for Manchester United to operate in. Miyazawa. Fridolina Rolfo. Toon arriving in the penalty area. Parks there too, as is Mala. It's towards Mala. It's over ahead. She'll keep possession, mind. Mala. Toon. Good tracking by Kitagawa. Too tight for Ella Toon to pull off that pass. As Wheeler goes in, makes a challenge, and it ricochets off Riviere. And out for an Everton throw-in. A couple of changes here, though, for Everton.
Substitution for Everton, coming off number 19, Katie Robinson.
Well, Katie Robinson is the first to leave the pitch. Kelly Gargo will be her replacement. Well, a couple of changes for Everton as Yuka Mamiki leaves the field to play over on the far side. She has the long trek around Hill Dickinson's pitch. But Kelly Gargo on and Tony Payne, a couple of more progressive changes, you could say, for Everton.
Yeah, really offensive changes as well. And I think Mamiki had a really good first half, but we've probably not seen much of her in this second half. And Tony Payne will offer a little bit different. She's direct, she's quick, and likes to dribble with the ball. And Gargo as well is very physical, likes to get on the ball and dribble with it. So definitely offensive substitutions, which shows where Brian Sorensen's coming from. He wants to go out and try and win this game as well.
He wants to win the first game at Hill Dickinson Stadium for Everton women. Can you blame him making attacking changes? Rolfo dispossessed, Toon beaten to it. Oh, that for a touch by Maya Letitia outside of the right boot. Casual as you like. Would you do that when you were centre-back, control it outside of the boot?
I'd love to say yes, but definitely not.
Here's Riviere, knocked off balance. So much so that it's a foul. And a free kick for Manchester United. Looked hesitant to blow her whistle initially, did the referee, Stacey Fullix, but Riviere, I'm sure, will happily accept the set piece. And we've not really seen Manchester United with an opportunity like this in the game so far.
Yeah, I think this is the first one. It'd be interesting to see, you know, they've got the likes of Ella Toon, very good set piece delivery. I think Sandberg as well. Got that left foot as an in-swinger. Ella Toon's there as that right-footed out-swinger as well. So some options there.
And will it be the left-footed delivery of Sandberg or the right of Toon? Into the 70th minute of the game. Everton 1, Manchester United 1. Sandberg with the cross. Oh, and it's loose! And somehow Manchester United see it bobble over the line. And they turn this game on its head. Malar celebrates, but it might go down as an own goal. Either way, Mark Skinner's side have turned this around. Everton 1, Manchester United 2.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. It was a good delivery from Sandberg, and Kitagawa, you can see there, gets a head on it. It actually rebounds back off Claire Wheeler. We just see it here, and then she tries to then just use her left foot, was it? Just to try and clear her lines, and she's off balance, hooks it into the bottom corner. Really unfortunate from Kitagawa, who has had a very good game today.
She has been very impressive down the left for Everton, but a miscue at the wrong moment. And Manchester United here at Hill Dickinson Stadium are on course for another win in the WSL. 2 goals in 8 minutes, turning this game on its head for Mark Skinner's side. Ultimately, you could say on the balance of things, though, Manchester United probably deserve to be the side in front. It's definitely on paper anyway.
I think if you're looking at possession and opportunities and shots on goal, then of course, but I think Everton have played well since their goal, but have rode their luck at times as well, but that's football. But they've still got plenty of time left in this game, Everton, to try and get back in the game, get an equaliser.
20 minutes to go, plus injury time here at Hill Dickinson Stadium. Everton looking for a result after not winning in the WSL since that opening day victory at Anfield. Star of the show on that day was Ornella Vignola, and she's someone who we've hardly mentioned in this game so far.
Yeah, I think in that first half she was doing a lot of work off the ball, pressing, trying to get into organisation, banking up. But now really Everton, if they want to get anything from this goal, they've got to get higher, got to get the likes of Vinola, Kelly Gargo on the ball.
They now seem to have Tony Payne out on this right-hand side, Gargo down the middle. Here's Park. Now Janssen. Manchester United looking to go in for the kill here on Merseyside. Sandberg. Cross comes Tony Payne to slow down the Swedish fullback, who has recovered from that knock she received earlier on in this second half. Miyazawa. Just 6 minutes and 15 seconds between those two Manchester United goals. Neither were particularly clean cuts. The goal's a goal. I'm sure Mark Skinner won't care at all how the ball ended up in the back of the Everton net. Letizia. Sandberg. Wolfer wanted it forwards. It's a heavy touch from Hayashi. Everton struggling to get the ball.
Yeah, and Sandberg is now, she's recovered, she's playing a lot higher again, which is pushing Tony Payne back, so they haven't got that outlet on that right-hand side at the moment, Everton.
Manchester United saw a lot of the ball when they were behind. Can't imagine that changing too much anytime soon as they look to take command of this game. And here's Malar, scorer of the equaliser for Manchester United. Park. Into her right foot. Park, it's a wicked ball in. Sandberg picks up the pieces. Finds the cross. Away by Mace. Park. Every time she receives that ball into her feet, it just stops dead. She's got such a good first touch as Jess Park, who had some time at Everton not too long ago. The Manchester United new signing from Manchester City. 5 goals and 5 assists in her 22 appearances on loan to Everton in the 2022-23 season. Here's Letizia back to Tullis Joyce. Nalsund tried to force the ball through to Malar, who's hanging on the shoulders of both Holmgaard and Stenovic. Kitagawa to Mace. Quarter of an hour to go. Everton 1, Manchester United 2. Emily Ramsey as well should be so frustrated after making all those saves in the first half to see those goals go in such a scruffy fashion. It's a player down for Everton. One down injured, one down because they're tripped. It's Hikaru Kitagawa who's the player on the floor. It looks as if the club doctors are going to have to come on to treat her.
You see that Riviera goes, you know, towards the back of her. I wouldn't say she goes through Kitagawa, but then as she extends that left leg, maybe she overextends that knee. She doesn't land, doesn't look great how she lands.
Well, you called the substitute there, Lindsay. Gabby George is coming on for Sandberg. Julia Zighiotti also on for Lisa Nalsund. It's a fullback for a fullback and a midfielder for a midfielder. Not too much to change positionally, you'd imagine, for Manchester United.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like I said before, Gabby George, she's a very, very good 1v1 defender. Likes to get forward as well, bags of pace. So similar to Sandberg as well in the way she plays. Zighiotti probably doesn't make those dynamic runs as much as Narsland, but still very good on the ball, creative player, lots of vision.
Being replaced by number 8, Rosa Van Gill.
Gabby George looking to
Also coming off for Everton, number 30.
get some crucial minutes in those legs. She's only played 25 minutes all season in the WSL. All those minutes have come as a substitute. Hikaru Kitagawa unable to continue after picking up that knock, as Pacheco will fill in at fullback, a position natural to her. So changes for Everton and for Manchester United, but I expect no change of formation.
Yeah, it'll stay the same with, I think it's Rosa Van Hool just gone into that central midfield area where Hayashi was, and like you say, Pacheco on that left-hand side, a very attacking fullback, lights to get high, got great deliveries into the box, so Brian Sorensen will want to see that from her.
And he's already brought on a couple of attacking changes as well. He'll be hoping they can get on the end of one of those Pacheco crosses, if the opportunity was to present itself to his side. Well, Mark Skinner's got a bit of a grin on his face now. Didn't in the first half.
It's funny what a goal can do, how everything changes psychologically.
12 minutes to go here at Hill Dickinson Stadium. Since going behind, Everton haven't really kicked on, haven't really created any opportunities. Unfortunately, not shown many signs of finding an equaliser.
Yeah, they've struggled to get the substitutes, the earlier substitutes of Kelly Gargo and Tony Payne on the ball, and that's because United have had so much possession, pushing wide and high with those fullbacks, just preventing Everton getting on the ball.
And they just can't make it happen at the moment, Everton. Another couple of changes for Manchester United. Well, why don't take a look at the Manchester United goals that have turned this game around. First, from Melvine Mallard. As her first effort was well saved by Ramsey. All she could do was get her body in the way, and fair play, you have to say, to Mallard. Showed composure to get onto that follow-up, and this is something which Hikaru Kitagawa won't want to see again. Just completely off balance, completely miscued.
Yeah, she'll be disappointed, but Mallard involved, putting pressure onto Kitagawa. Sometimes just that little bit of pressure, too off enough.
Here's Toon. She wants to get in on the action. Mace comes across, gets her foot in. Park after the loose ball. She'll chase that down, but it last came off her, and they'll go behind for a goal kick. And Rachel Williams on in place of Melvine Mallard. And she's always one of the standout players for Manchester United, isn't she, Melvine Mallard? But Williams on in their place.
Yeah, and it's, you know, Rach Williams is such an experienced player, such an important player as well for Manchester United. Mark Skinner relies on her to score a goal when he needs it.
Here's Galton. Pokes it through for Toon. It strikes her on her back. Doesn't fall into her path, though. Williams. Now Riviere. Park with the cross to the back post. Kept alive, just about. George goes back to Janssen. Nalsund. Letitia to Toon. Asking for movement in front of her. Now Miyazawa. Always in control. Clever turn that, though, from Galton. George. Zighiotti. George. Back to Zighiotti. Manchester United passing it around with real confidence now.
just controlling it now, aren't they? And moving the ball well, still with purpose. But that goal, that second goal in particular, has really given them back that momentum and confidence and composure as well. I think they were just frustrated a little bit at the start of that second half.
After that draw with Chelsea in their last WSL game, that would have given them plenty of confidence. Chelsea favourites for the WSL again this year, but Manchester United, they're going to be competing with them towards the end of the season.
I agree, and I think, you know, I watched that game and I thought Manchester United were unlucky not to get the 3 points. It was a really good competitive game, and it just shows that the strides that Manchester United have made.
The home guard is off in place of Hayley Ladd. All changes made now for both sides.
Hayley Ladd, such an experienced player in the WSL, obviously a lot of time at Manchester United.
Oh, and there's a loose moment there, which Everton get away with.
That's some battle, Ruby Mason, Rach Williams. Great physicality, both of them.
There's been a lot of standout battles, really, hasn't there? I mean, the main one, which you've mentioned numerous times, has been down the Manchester United left, Sandberg and Robinson. And since Robinson went off, Manchester United arguably taking control. Not saying that's the difference maker, but it's coincided with it.
I agree, and just with that change as well, Ruby Mason's dropped into that centre-half position. Hayley Ladd's gone into that role, what we're used to seeing her in that centre midfield area. Knows Manchester United really well.
Very much so, 5.5 years at Manchester United. Did the Centurion for Wales. Toon into Jess Park. Danger here for Everton. Park looking to wrap it up for Manchester United, which she does. No celebration from the Manchester United forward against the side she used to play for. But that finish, with a little help of a deflection, will surely secure the 3 points for Manchester United here at Hill Dickinson Stadium. Everton 1, Manchester United 3.
Yeah, really respectful from Park. She didn't celebrate, but she has a massive grin on her face, and so she should. You just see the space opens up for her. Looks to get the ball out of her feet, gets the shot off, and I think it's Stenovic there. It just comes off. She tries to intercept that shot. And I think, you know, that deflection takes it in. I think Ramsey might have got that. I think she had that covered, and that deflection has just took it away from Ramsey. Really unfortunate for the goalkeeper there.
When you think the amount of blocks and tackles that Everton backline have done, it's a rebound off the goalkeeper, an own goal, and a deflection, which is the goals they've conceded. Luck has eventually ran out, essentially.
Yeah, and I think that's right. That, you know, if you look at possession, you look at opportunities and shots on goal, Manchester United are head and shoulders above Everton this day. But what Everton have shown is great determination, resilience, but, you know, that's just not enough to beat this Manchester United side who've got bags and bags of quality players in their squad.
You just have to look at the players they've been able to bring on from the bench this afternoon. There is a difference, significant one. Here's Williams, bundles her way past Wheeler, looks for movement in the middle. Saw it in Leah Galton, but across was Fernandez to sweep away the danger.
It's great to see Leah Galton back as well. She's such a, you know, a legend for Manchester United, been there a long time, been out with injury. Really good direct winger on that left-hand side.
Further away by Everton's backline, Vignola, part of that backline now, it would seem. Hardly seen the likes of Gargo and Payne since they've come on for Everton. The substitutions really haven't impacted the game as much as Sorensen would like. Well, we saw at half-time that Everton were one shot on target. Towards the end of the match, only added one to that list. Manchester United in control of this game now with only 3.5 minutes to go, and they've been the dominant side throughout, really speaking.
Yeah, I agree, and those stats, you know, are worrying for Everton.
There's a glance on there. The flag stays down for now. Everton play on, its Payne, and now the flag goes up. Well, it looked a long way offside, but you play to the whistle, and those delayed flags are meant to benefit the forward, but you could maybe sense the hesitation in Tony Payne's approach there.
Yeah, I think she knew it, but it was a really good header from Kelly Gargo. Tony Payne gambling, but just went too early. Didn't need to go that early as well. She had lots of space.
Lots of space to operate in. I think she'll be frustrated by her first touch as well, watching that back, but she's not really had many touches to get used to how the ball feels this afternoon.
Yeah, and as we were saying, Kelly Gargo and Tony Payne not really been involved since they come on, but you'd think that Everton could have been a bit more direct earlier on as well with those types of players up front.
It's a knock for Stenovic. She'll have to run that one off. Here's Riviere. Hinata Miyazawa, Ella Toon, Jess Park. Stenovic steps in, as does additional support from Everton in that midfield. Vignola getting involved. Toon. Had the shout of Galton, but Fernandez can step in. Galton has it. Toon. Park. Another for Manchester United, and it's the best of the lot from Jess Park. 2 goals in just a few minutes for the Manchester United substitutes. And we thought the last was the cherry on top of the cake. Well, there's now a second cherry on top of the cake. Everton 1, Manchester United 4.
Really lovely play by Manchester United. Just 1 and 2 touch play. It was this press from Galton. Fernandez gets herself all in 6s and 7s. But this just 1 and 2 touch play around the box. Park, 1 touch out of her feet, wasn't it? And finds enough space to just get a shot off and just place it into that far bottom corner. Ramsey might be a little bit disappointed that she couldn't get a hand to that, but well-placed shot from Jess Park.
Jess Park with 2 today. That takes her to 3 goals in her 6 appearances for Manchester United since making the switch from City in the summer. Here's Payne up against George, who stands firm. Payne, Ladd with the cross in. Janssen there, Manchester United with some defending to do. Here's Toon. Letizia and Janssen are very, very in control of almost every single minute of this game.
The fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 7 minutes additional time.
7 minutes of additional time added on at the end of this one. Plenty more time for more goal-mouth action. Here's Van Hool. Pokes it forward for Fernandez, who joins the midfield. Tries to get back into a defensive position, though. Toon. There's space opening up now for Manchester United. Everton tiring. Toon through the middle. It's Park. Oh, it's a poor touch. She might have had a sniff at a hat-trick there. She laughs off the chance, but I'm sure her manager would have preferred her to have taken that in her stride.
Yeah, she'd be disappointed. She couldn't get control of that. Just went a little early, didn't she? Really good vision by Ella Toon, a fantastic run by Jess Park.
Direct play there from Kelly Gargo. Hear the screams from the stands to encourage her forward, because they've had very little to cheer in this second half, the Everton supporters. And the first real attacking involvement we've seen from Kelly Gargo.
Yeah, we show what she's got. You know, she's a direct runner, she's strong, she's quick, she can hold the ball up, but we just haven't seen the best of her today since she's come on.
Chance for Everton to pull one back in injury time. It's hung up towards Fernandez, gets her head on it. Stanovic then gets hers on it. It's off the line by Letizia. It's loose in the 6-yard box. And the volley comes in and it strikes Jess Park square in the face. And the referee immediately blew the whistle for that one. And she'll have stars spinning around the top of her head, because that was a full-blooded connection with that volley from Ruby Mace. Well, she may be feeling the pain right now, but she's had a couple of standout moments.
Yeah, since she's come on, she's played really well, been really influential. A little bit lucky with the deflection, but to take the shot on, to get the ball out of her feet and the directness, that's what Jess Park brings. But this one, this lovely touch from Ella Toone just sets Jess Park up. But it's that touch, just gets it out of her feet, able to wrap her foot around the ball and place it into that far corner. Maybe I was a little bit harsh on Emily Ramsey before. It's placed in that far corner. Really difficult one for her.
Jess Park off the bench and scoring 2 goals. They have made their 5 changes, Manchester United, but if Park does have to go off, I'm sure this will qualify as a concussion substitution, as the finger test is being made. Have you ever gone down with an injury like this?
Yeah, concussion a couple of times. Yeah, we didn't really have the laws and rules in place at the time, so we just played on.
You got through it, despite seeing double the amount of Manchester United players in front of you. Well, it's been an entertaining afternoon, but for you, Lindsay, who's been the standout player?
Yeah, there's been a couple of players. Jess Park, since she come on, has been fantastic. She's definitely in there with a shout, but I think for the majority of the game, 70, 80 minutes of the game, Melvin Mallard has been fantastic. We see there on the touch mat how much she was involved in the play, particularly in that first half when United were behind. I think she was a very dangerous player, influential, and eventually she got that equaliser to get United back in the game, and very much involved in that Kitagawa own goal as well. I think overall Melvin Mallard is my woman of the match today.
The Barclays player of the match is Melvin Mallard. Another excellent performance from Manchester United's French forward. It's their England forward who's back on their feet though. Pat on the back from a manager, and an arm round the shoulder.
She's done well, hasn't she, to take a ball to the face, and normally when that happens and it hits your nose, your eyes water. It looks like you're crying, but your eyes just water. They're not even watering.
She's hard as nails, Jess Park.
Not harder than I am.
Everton fans annoyed that they didn't get the corner there, despite the ball spinning off. Jess Park out for a corner. Here's Toone. Riviere will probably have more than the 7 minutes added on in this game now because of that stoppage for Park's injury. Gargo claims of offside, which are confirmed by the official on this near side.
Looked tight, didn't it? But I think Janssen just steps when Gargo receives it, or when it's played to Gargo.
The defensive duo of Letizia and Janssen, though, they've looked so confident, haven't they, throughout this game? And of course, Turner would be available normally, but without her, they still look just as strong. Yeah,
she's obviously Letizier's played there for a while now, but for Janssen just to drop in there just shows, you know, her quality. She's got so much experience, not only in the WSL, but around Europe as well.
Here's Gargo. Everton looking for a rare foray forward in the second half as the cross comes in. Miyazawa gets a foot on it and hooks it up into the air, into the hands of Fallon Tullis-Joyce, who I'm sure will not be too worried about that goal she conceded now. She'll say it was a foul all along, but they still get the 3 points.
Yeah, and you know how these elite players look at it. They'll always look at what they can do better, and so she'll look at that goal and see what she can do better. But since that, really, she's not had a save to make. She's not really been involved, and that's what you want ultimately as a goalkeeper.
The defenders in front of her doing the job for her. Here is Tullis Joyce. Janssen to Laetitia. Vignola still full of running. That's all she's been able to do really this afternoon. Here she is now though. No support from Pacheco, but goes inside and gives it away. And you see by the body language of the Everton players, when they give the ball away, they're just so tired at this point of the game. Here's Park. Shaking off that football to the face. Tissier to Miyazawa. Too slow. Ladd. Miyazawa tries to recover. Ladd over to the far side. It's Pacheco. Opportunity here for the substitute. Pacheco with the strike. Decent effort. Fallon Tullis-Joyce with a rather straightforward save, but off the bench, Maz Pacheco with a great opportunity to find her first Everton goal since joining from Villa in the summer.
It was a good attack from Everton. And the ball back in that midfield area from Ladd, just putting that pressure on Miyazawa. Good link-up play, but straight at Tullis-Joyce. No straightforward save for her to make.
Oh, that for a touch by Rachel Williams. Toon had her heel clipped, and I don't think the referee's actually blown for a free kick here, but just blown for a stoppage in play. Well, they won't want to get any injuries with the busy schedule that they have this season, Manchester United, especially Ella Toon.
Ella Toon, isn't it? And like you say, I think they've got Atletico Madrid midweek in the next game of their Champions League.
Hopefully this is just a whack rather than a twist or an ankle roll. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Maybe one from the left and then one from the right for Ella Toon.
Fernandez just putting in a hefty challenge there.
Gargo gets a foot in ahead of Laetitia. Everton getting a little more adventurous than they had been in the early parts of this second half. Here's Van Hoel to Ladd, into the feet of Jess Park. Ladd recovers though. Well, that's it. History made at Hill Dickinson Stadium. The first women's game to be played at this stadium is won by Manchester United. Everton took the lead through a rebound. Hanoka Hayashi was able to prod home the opening goal after the ball just fell her way inside the Manchester United penalty area. Melvie Mallard was able to equalise though. Missed the initial chance, but it fell back into her path to finish beyond Ramsey. Kitagawa scored an unfortunate own goal, but Jess Park off the bench. 2 goals in 5 minutes. Then that it finished here. Everton 1, Manchester United 4. Well, all eyes are on Jess Park here. One of the standout players for sure, 2 goals. The headlines will be about her. Melvie Mallard, one of the standout players as well, as we can hear from the French forward now.
Yeah. Melvin, congratulations. That looked like a tough game out there.
Yeah, it's good. We start good, but Everton score first, but we come back good with a lot of energy. We play good, and that is good.
I mean, your goal was crucial. You're in a great form right now. Must feel good.
Yeah, I feel good. I'm confident, and my team also. My teammate give me confidence, and yes, now that is good for us.
Manager Mark Skinner told us before the game he didn't want to see you get complacent today. Second half showed how deep this team can go.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's very important to have a react, and we job. We do that good, and we need just keep going. We have opportunity a lot on the game, and we need just to finish every time.
It says a lot. You can bring on Jess Park, and she scores a couple of goals as well.
That is so good. That is big energy. It's very important, the girl on the bench when you come in and put a lot difference, and that's so good.
Well, look, that is all very good, but you are the player of the match. Congratulations, Melvin Mallow. You are the Barclays player of the match. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'm so happy. Thank you. But that's for the team.
Congratulations again.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Well, she looks pretty pleased with the Player of the Match trophy, the Barclays Player of the Match trophy. Maybe a little bit of a limp as she walks away from our camera team. But she is absolutely the stand-out player, and for many reasons, he chose her.
Yeah, I think she's, like I say, when Manchester United found themselves a goal down there, she was the most dangerous player on that right-hand side, and most of the opportunities came from that right-hand side. She eventually gets the goal to equalise, and I think that's the impetus for them to go on and then win the game. So I think she was involved for most of the game, and just really well deserved of that Barclays Player of the Match.
And she'll be disappointed that she didn't finish this opportunity at the first time of asking, but to have the awareness and the ability to turn it in.
Yeah, it's her strength and her power just to get on the end of that. You know, people will say that's an easy finish, she should do it from there, but she's got to get there. She's got a couple of defenders chasing her down. Like I say, it's her physicality as well as her finesse and her flair, which makes her such an exciting player to watch as well.
That was the first of the Manchester United 4. Plenty of goals here. This is how it looks around the country this afternoon. Results everywhere in the 12 o'clock kickoffs. Aston Villa and Leicester City finishing goalless in the big Midlands battle there. Chelsea were in that crucial battle. It was first against third in the WSL at the start of the day. Chelsea running away with it once again in the WSL. 4-1 here to Manchester United, and London City Lionesses getting a win against West Ham, who will remain bottom of the WSL table, still pointless. Well, let's take a look at how these results have affected the league table. There you are, Chelsea right at the top. Those goals today will do Manchester United's goal difference no harm whatsoever. Manchester City, the later kick-off, Arsenal as well. Liverpool still with a couple more games to play down at the bottom end of the table. Everton down in 10th as it stands. Well, let's take a look at the match highlights, shall we? And what was a great afternoon for Manchester United here on a historic afternoon at Hill Dickinson Stadium. It was Everton who took the lead. Let's not forget that. This was the foul, I'd say in quotation marks, that led up to the Everton opener. Brilliant reaction by Hayashi, wasn't it?
Yeah, really good delivery from Momoki. Into the mixer, Tullis-Joyce gets a hand to her, but great run and timing by Hayashi to meet that on the bounce, doesn't she? Just gets it as it's coming back up on the bounce, drills it into the back of the net.
But then Miyazawa into Mallard. Good initial save. But there's your player of the match, your Barclays player of the match, Melvin Mallard, with a wonderful finish at the second time of asking.
It's a lovely ball just with the outside of the foot from Miyazawa. And Mallard gets that goal on her second attempt.
And she celebrates that over the top of the own goal scorer, Hikaru Kitagawa. Got to feel a little sorry for the Everton fullback, because she did have a good game down that left-hand side.
Yeah, she did, but it's unfortunate. But it's the sort of the trajectory of the delivery from Sandberg. It's quite low, driven, and then it's hard for Kitagawa to get some height initially on that header. Rebounds off another Everton player, I think Wheeler, obviously into the back of the net from Kitagawa.
Unfortunate for Everton. There was also some fortune about this one. Stenovic dangling a leg out. Jess Park claiming the goal. It was definitely a strike on target, so it will go down as the Manchester United forwards. But she came on. And since those substitutions were made at the beginning of the second half, Manchester United just found another gear.
Yeah, they did. It was that sort of player of Jess Park's ability to come on and have that impact and influence. And here, this second goal for Jess Park just takes that touch, lovely touch. The ball from Ella Toone into Jess Park. But it's her first touch which sets her up for the strike on goal into that far corner.
Yeah, if the first three were scruffy, there was nothing scruffy about that one at all from Jess Park. The final goal of the game to confirm the win for Manchester United. Well, we've talked about Manchester United a lot. Let's hear from an Everton player, Claire Wheeler.
Claire, tough defeat today. How was it out there?
Yeah, like you said, it was a tough defeat. It was a tough game. Credit to United. They made the opportunities count, and we went into the half-time 1-0 up, but they're a quality side, and like you said, it was tough. It's frustrating, but in the end, we're also really happy with the support and the crowd that we got today as well.
Yeah, you say frustration. Team played well in the first half. What changed in the second?
I just think obviously United controlled a lot of the possession, and I think towards obviously the second half you saw maybe the repercussions of that. I think we didn't keep the ball for long enough periods, and I think obviously towards the end you could get some tired legs out there, and they were finding spaces in between our lines and making it count. That
win at Anfield feels like a good long time ago now. How confident are you be able to turn this around?
Yeah, look, I think we need to turn this around. I think obviously we have the Cup next week and then international, but we really need to start, turning this around and getting some points. It's a long season, but we're already 5-6 games through, so we really need to start, winning some games.
And obviously the result hurts right now, but felt like a very special day out there for a lot of Evertonians.
Yeah, definitely, and I think obviously it's not the result we wanted to give the Evertonians. We're really happy with the support and the community that came to watch us play here at Hill Dickinson for the first time, and even though we couldn't get the result for them, we're still really honoured that they came in to support us.
Thanks, Claire, appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks. Cheers. Thank you.
Thanks for waiting, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, disappointing afternoon for Everton in the end. A rather unfortunate own goal, but they will have history on their side in one way. The result may not have gone their way, but Anoka Hayashi with the goal for the history books, the first woman to score at Hill Dickinson Stadium. And until she went off, she was one of the standout players for Everton, really, wasn't she?
Yeah, I agree. She obviously got that opening goal for Everton, but she was really busy in that midfield area, good in that press, the right time, but really good on the ball as well. Obviously couldn't sustain it, came off, and things just didn't happen for Everton today.
And the Japanese trio of Kitagawa, Hayashi and Miyazawa in conversation, know each other very well from their international days. Well, we can hear from Hinata Miyazawa's manager, Mark Skinner.
Mark, congratulations on the win. Down at half-time, 3-goal winners at the end. Can you explain that one?
Yeah, I thought that we had a lot of control throughout the game. We should have been 3-0 up before Everton got their goal, and that's the difference. First half would have been that I think it'd been really uncomfortable for Everton. But fair play to them, they reacted quicker on a set piece. But I always knew at half-time we were pretty calm. We needed to come out second half and put a performance on of quality, detail, and that was the only thing missing from the first half. Created chances, we just need to finish them.
Marvin Mallard today has the impact she's been having all season. You must be delighted with her form.
I am. Do you know what though, Anton? I'm really delighted with a lot of the players' form right now. They are taking the kind of challenge of it, lots of games thick and fast in their stead, and I'm really happy with the way that they're controlling themselves. But obviously Mal has special moments as well. But a lot of the players, Jess comes in and obviously gets 2 goals. So I think from my perspective, I'm really happy with the team, and they're looking forward to games. It's a lovely positive position to be in right now. It doesn't last the whole season, we know that, but I think while you're ride that wave while you're on it.
You mentioned Jess Park. She came on, made a huge impact, but also body on the line as well.
She does, and that's what we're about. I said to them before the game, if you want to show your credentials to win things, you must be the best out of possession. in possession is how you build. It's all of the good details between yourselves. Out of possession is your mentality. And I thought that we showed that in abundance. And it creates, when you're fast out of possession, you're aggressive, it gives you loads of confidence in possession. And I felt that even, as I say, first half should have been 3 up, but I'm glad that we came from behind, another marker for us to then go away and win the game so comfortably at the end.
You're going home happy today then?
I hope so, yeah. I mean, unless something happens on the way out, yes, I'll go home a happy man.
Congratulations, Buck.
Thank you.
A couple of goals for Jess Park, as well as a ball to the face, which she took like an absolute champ.
She did, and she's still, you know, playing with it. It's obviously impacted it. Who wouldn't it? It was pretty much full force into the face, into the nose.
You can clearly see there's some tenderness for the former Everton forward's nose. She came on with around 40 minutes to go in this game. We were quite surprised that she came on early in the second half, but it's clearly the right decision.
Yeah, it's a really good decision by Mark Skinner. It's the right time. You know, there's lots of games for these Manchester United players with their Champions League involvement, and they don't have the squad size. The likes of Chelsea and Arsenal are also in that competition, so rotation is definitely needed.
Well, she seems happy despite the ball to the face. I think she's saying she's got a fat face. She'll be okay, I think, will Jess Park. Well, Manchester United, they're a couple of points behind Chelsea in the WSL table, but they look like they could more than match them this season.
I think they've started really well. Obviously, they've already played Arsenal and Chelsea, and to get a draw against both just keeps them in that race and close to Chelsea.
Manchester City with a game in hand over their City rivals, who play a little later on. Opportunity for Manchester City to jump ahead of Manchester United in that league table into second place. Down the bottom end of the table, all eyes will be on Liverpool and West Ham, who are still pointless. Incidentally, Leicester City's draw with Aston Villa has meant that Leicester have gone ahead of Everton in the WSL table. Still very much early days. In fact, we can hear from the Everton manager now, Brian Sorensen.
Brian, thoughts on what looked like a difficult defeat today?
Yeah, we would have liked to play second half a bit like we played first half, but yeah, I think overall we run a bit out of legs, and they put very good players on that. We have a hard time, you know, matching that. I think we did well we ride the storm in the first 10, and then was fairly even until actually second half started better, but then I think key moments we let ourselves down, and then they get back into the game, and then at the end they just run from us.
Is frustration the right word for that?
Yeah, it's not. I think the girls did everything they could. It's just probably just like where we are at the minute against a top side. Like, we need to get everything, all the details right if we want to compete, and we have to do that over 99 minutes. So I think just where we are at, we need to keep working.
You've obviously got some key players out at the moment, but how easy is it to sort of look at that as an excuse?
No, I think we have the squad we have, and we have a lot of young players. I think we play the youngest starting 11 in this league by a mile, and you see all other young players that come into this league. It takes them half a year to settle before they can really show themselves. We're playing a lot of them, so it'll take a bit of time and understanding. Also, like us learning each other, how we're working together, but also them to adapt to the league. So I think it's where we are at the minute. We would have liked to stay in the game a bit longer, but those key moments where individually we have to be better.
I know obviously the result is disappointing, but it felt like a very special day out there today.
Yeah, no, I appreciate all the fans that came, and it was a good atmosphere, and and as I said, if we would like to stay a bit longer in the game to make it more interesting at the end, but we're not there at the minute. We'll work on getting there, and we're looking forward.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Well, that's it from us here at Hill Dickinson Stadium on a historic afternoon. It's Everton who are gunned down at their new stadium by Mark Skinner's Manchester United. Inspired by Malla and Park, it finishes Everton 1, Manchester United 4.